Welcome to Currents Up Close. My name is Sid Morris, and today we're going to be talking about the beach house that's coming and is under construction. And my guest today is Dave Krejci and Mark Ripplinger. And today we want to talk to people about the progress of the beach house and where we are with the whole project. And so welcome to the show today, fellows.
Thank you, Sid.
You bet. Let's start out today talking about the history of the beach house that's been there now for several years. Do you want to start, Dave, with
Sure.
talking about the history of the project?
Well, the building was back in the 1920s, so it was 90 plus years. It was built down at Island Park and served many different areas of the community, but mostly swimming. And we're trying to make it look very similar to the original that was built back in the 20s, with the pillars and the doorways, and you can see the old swimmers there out there.
Right.
And but the facility will be the same footprint as what it was back in the 20s, 4,500 square feet. So we're using the same footprint. So the building is just as big as what it used to be, and the construction is moving forward, and the blocks getting laid, and it's very exciting to see after 7 years after the flooding.
Yes, that the one that you see on the screen at this time, that was the Cedar Falls swimming area at the time that people in Cedar Falls were using for swimming and recreation. And Mark, you do not remember probably 1925 then?
No, Sid. As we were talking about previously, you might be in that picture there, aren't you? But the facility has been it's been in the community for years. We haven't enjoyed a partnership with the North Shore Boat Club for 50 years at that facility. And that might be a little bit of a misunderstanding that, what's going on to that facility. The beach house does belong to the city of Cedar Falls. Our partners have always been the North Shore Boat Club. They have helped us in the past raise money for improvements to the facility. They've mowed the grass. They've contributed construction for renovations and all sorts of things. And we're excited to continue that partnership. The role that the North Shore Boat Club has taken on is very similar to what other groups have done in the community in the past. They are helping raise money to complete the construction. Again, no different what their organization is doing than what had been done for the rec center in the past, Walters Ridge, the library, and we're very appreciative to their efforts.
Yeah, and I think what's important is that this facility is a community facility, and it can be used by various people in the community, various organizations. In fact, I remember very distinctly that the police used to have their events there, their, fundraisers and dances, and other organizations in the community.
We don't see that changing, Sid.
Right.
The community has, of course, missed that facility since 2008 flood, but we've already had interest. We've had several people contact us. They want to have their weddings there. We're kind of holding off until we get to the point where we know construction will be complete. But the facility, again, will be available for family gatherings. North Shore Boat Club uses it quite a bit for their events. But it goes back to this is a community facility. It's no different than any other shelter or any other facility that the community would like to rent for their gatherings and their organizations.
Right. Dave, tell us about how your connection with the fundraising project and that sort of thing. What is your connection with
Sure.
that?
We've kind of got our motto as private funding for public benefit, and you can see that with the facility, it's going to be just a diamond out there in the North Cedar area on the river, and the firefighters used it, said, also for their firefighters dance. You mentioned the weddings and anniversaries.
Right.
We don't see that changing, like Mark said. We hope everyone is able to enjoy the building. But how we're fundraising is we've been selling bricks. This is the front of the building as you would be driving down the parking lot. And we've got bricks out front, and we've got opportunities to buy small or large bricks. You could do them as memorials or, do, there's different levels that you see there on the screen. We've got Gary Kelly prints that are available. He was gracious enough to paint a painting for us. And then we've got a combination of other things and also getting your name even on the inside the building. So we're even have the Boy Scouts involved in putting cans around community downtown Cedar Falls, and we're really wanting to go in this gun ho. And now that people see brick and mortar getting built down there, it's exciting to see everyone jump in, and the coffers are starting to fill up.
All right. Yeah, we showed the slide there on the brick program and how people could donate. Let's talk about it. Who do they contact, and what do people need to do if they want to buy a brick or make a donation toward the project?
We set up a 501c3 through Lincoln Savings Bank, and it's islandbeachhouse.org is our website. You can see there on the screen, right down there at the bottom, and that they can go to and make their donation online. Very, very easy, and it's tax deductible, and we made it as easy as we could for people to donate at different levels too, and still have a buy-in into the project.
Good. What the tax exempt feature, I think, is a good feature because that does motivate people to donate and that sort of thing. And so you are a 501c3 then?
Yeah, through the islandparkbeachhouse.org. That's why I really want to point that out to people. That's where to go to donate.
How are people going to be able to access the facility to lease it or rent it? Mark, are you going to be involved with that? Is your department going to be the one that people contact as far as use, like all other facilities are?
Sid, you're exactly right. There'll be really no change in how the facility had been leased prior to the flood. Contact the Cedar Falls Rec Center. Very similar to any other shelter. We have contracts that we need individuals to sign, and that basically provides the guidelines that you would need to follow as far as utilizing a publicly owned facility. So very simple. We go through hundreds of rentals a year, and once the facility is up and running, we'll have that available for the community. Typically what we like to do is make those reservations available at least 1 year in advance, and hopefully when we get occupancy later this summer or early fall, we will open that calendar and let people start reserving it.
One of the questions that will come up was, is there a fee?
There is a fee. You're gonna kind of stick me here a little bit. I believe the new fees are to rent it for an entire day, Monday through Thursday, is $125 for the entire day, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and holidays are $200 a day. We used to make it available for 4 and 6 hour allotments, but we've decided to make it entire days now because a lot of the people that rent the facility want time to prepare, clean up, and those sorts of things.
Right.
So at this point, it'll be entire day rentals.
And of course that would come through your department
That's
at
correct.
the rec center. And what would be what kinds of things would would people use the facility for? What's going to be available there for people to use? You know, previously they had cooking. I can't think of the word I wanted, but anyway, services there at the time. Will there be that kind of service?
That's one of the changes, Sid, is because it's in the floodway and because part of the funding is coming from FEMA, they have rules related to what sort of items can be placed in there. They don't want to have, of course, the federal government does not want to have to pay for the loss of during future flood events. So when we used to have refrigerators in the past, those won't be available. But we will have counter space, we will have sinks, we'll have restrooms that are on the end of the facility, and of course, we will have adequate electricity for people to bring roasters in, those sorts of things. There is an outdoor area if people want to grill. So really it's going to be very similar to in the past as far as what you can do down there. It's just some of the amenities that FEMA no longer allows within structures.
Right, okay. Yeah, you can see here on the screen at this time that the design of the beach house, and you'll be able to hold dances there, dinners, and various kinds of events which will be available to the community. We have a couple of minutes left before we take a break, but I'd like to just close this session with a discussion about the flood and what happens if there's another flood.
Well, the building set is built so that there's small flood gates that open up and allow the water to flow through it. The old structure was made out of wood. This is, of course, made out of cement block with reinforced re-rod and concrete. So for cleanup, it's going to be much easier to take care of with power washing after the event of a flood happening. But the picture on the screen kind of shows the construction going on now with the block that's being laid and set, and of course the gates will be on the ends of the building to allow that pressure to be relieved and flow through. That's the beauty of the new building.
So the walls are movable. Is that what
Well,
you're
the
talking
inside
about?
doors actually open up, the dividing doors, so they'll open up so that the water is able to flow through the building.
Right. Well, we this part of the session is about to end, and we'll be back after this word.
There is no better place to beat the summer heat than the swimming pool. Your local pool staff is highly trained, and their #1 priority is everyone's safety. However, you are still responsible for the children you bring. When visiting the pool, avoid distractions and keep a watchful eye on your children. So put down the phone, magazine, and book. It only takes a moment for an accident to happen, and the alert parent could avoid a tragedy.
911, what's your emergency?
Stay alert at the pool.
We all know that the Cedar Valley is a great place to live and work. And there are many individuals and organizations that are doing their part to improve the quality of life for everyone that calls this their home. On Serving the Valley, we sit down with these service organizations to learn more about different projects and events that need your support. We all need to do our part to help out our community. Tune into Serving the Valley to learn more.
Oh, okay.
Welcome back. Our discussion today is on this beach house that's being constructed on the river in Cedar Falls, and let's talk about the fundraising and where we are with the fundraising, and and kind of review who's been involved up to date and where we have to go to raise the funds to complete the project.
I'll start, Sid, and then turn it over to Dave. The city's contribution, or it's from a couple sources. One is FEMA replacement dollars. Roughly $254,000 were provided by the federal government for the loss of that facility back in 2008. And then with the assistance of Intercog and Waterloo and the support of the North Shore Boat Club, we also were able to obtain $150,000 from the Blackhawk County Gaming Association. Of course, that's very instrumental in the establishment of the project. Now, the overall estimate for the project is roughly $650,000, and that's where, in order to make up that difference, that's when the North Shore Boat Club came to us and indicated an interest to help raise additional funds to complete the construction. And I think Dave can provide a little bit of background right now where they are with their fundraising efforts.
Yeah, originally we kicked it off right after the 08 flood, knowing that we're going to need funding to rebuild and help the city with this project. So we did some free music events down at the hub in Cedar Falls, and we started off with bands donating, and we had auction items that we were able to do there. And then Gary Kelly stepped up with the print, and we started doing those. It's evolved into brick sales, and we continue getting those done, and we are continue getting money donated to us. We've raised over $80,000, which has been given to the city, and we've got the balance of about $170 to collect, and we feel very confident that we're going to have that done, hopefully within the next 3 years of getting the building completed.
All right, good.
And membership has been really good. From the boat club, we were about 250 members, family memberships, and we're down to about 180. But we're very confident that once the building gets built, that our membership will go up again. We've continually grown members through the last 7 years, and holding our meetings off-site.
Yeah. So the membership, is there a membership other than the boat club? Are there
For fundraising, no, Sid, but to be a member, it's $50 and bring a crock pot and you're in. We're actually, we're not even charging an initiation fee right now to get in the boat club until after the building is completed.
Right,
So it's a great time to join our club. Everyone's welcome.
All right.
But the fundraising continues, and we've had the struggle with the project, delayed with the footing issue with the ground this spring that we ran into, but that's all been figured out by engineering, and we got the footings in. And the great news is, even if it does flood, we're at the point on the construction of the building that we'll be okay. That's the great news about it. So we pray for no delays.
Right. And your department and the city and the council has been very supportive of this project, Mark. And it's what's happening as far as that is concerned?
Well, because the project is right next to the river, there were several agencies that had to gain approval from FEMA,
Right.
the state of Iowa, our Board of Adjustment. Several iterations of the design went through the city council, and if I recall correctly, the city council has voted 7-0 every time to support the project. And once it's constructed, the city's role will be very similar to what we did in the past. We will maintain the facility, we will rent the facility, we will coordinate events, whether they're community events or partnerships and events with the North Shore Boat Club and those sorts of things. So really, we're excited to get back to being in the same role that we had prior to 2008 flood.
What is your goal as far as completion? You alluded to it a while ago that you would like to be done by Sturgis,
Yeah,
or close to Sturgis.
you know, I think that the building part will be done by then, Sid. But Mark and I were just talking that there's some other things outside the building that need to be completed before we get occupancy. So we're saying, you know, early fall, late summer, we should be able to get into the building pending any bad flooding. But we hope to be over that hurdle now.
All right, good. Well, I think that this project is, I think you're going to be successful, and
Well, thank you.
And I hope that you do. And a thing that I kind of noticed right off is the design of the new facility is very comparable to the original boat beach house.
Yeah, it's going to be just a beautiful facility for everyone to enjoy the river and be able to rent a facility that's very reasonable for any event that you and your family could enjoy.
And that was, it's nice you brought that up, Sid. That was actually one of the goals that when we first started talking about this project, in fact, it actually came from the North Shore Boat Club. Wouldn't it be a nice amenity that if we were to reflect on the previous original design? And so when we worked with Levi Architecture, Dan Levi, that was incorporated into several of the designs. And when it is complete, and as you saw from some of the photos, it's going to be very complementary to the original design of the beach
great.
house.
Let us, we have a couple minutes left, and let's just kind of review how people can get involved and talk again about the contact that they make, who they call, and so on and so forth. If we could have that part on the screen again, how they can contribute to the project. And there's a website on the screen at this time, and there are the ways that people can donate, and the naming concept and those who give to the project. And so anyway, I think that this will be a great addition to the city. And it's, I want to say again, it's available to all the citizens of Cedar Falls and be handled as it always has been.
That's correct.
So anyway, well, thank you guys for being on today, and maybe we can have an update later on.
That'd be great, Sid.
And I know Mr. Dobson is involved with this very directly, and maybe we could have him on too, on another program to give a progress report and encourage people to support this very important project in Cedar Falls. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Sid.
You bet. We'll be back with another program on Currents Up Close in a very, very near future.